Hello, everyone. My name is Salman, and I am a researcher. I train students in research, and I have extensive experience in research and academia. I have worked in public health as well as in healthcare and have supported different research teams. And I get to know that a lot of researcher and physicians or interns or students struggle in their research first step, which is developing a proposal. Today, in this short video, you will be learning about how to prepare an epidemiological and clinical research proposal. Definitely, we are going to bring more videos. I would be looking forward to your support. So let's start that how we can develop a proposal. So, what is the purpose of developing a proposal, or what is the rationale behind developing a proposal? So, there are four things that we will discuss. First is scientific rationale and relevance behind this proposal. So, a lot of questions come in terms of that what I should do research in terms of, you know, the topic, the methods, the data analysis, the ethics. So, to answer that, research proposal explain your scientific basis and public health importance of the study problem. So basically, if you develop a proposal, it will answer your basis of what exactly the problem you are looking and how you are going to work on that. This is basically a checklist sort of thing, which is in detail, which you tick, 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 and select that, yeah, I'm going to do this with in terms of what I'm going to plan for my research. The second thing is feasibility and method rigor. So a lot of proposals, demonstrate that how feasible is the study, what is the quality of the study, and what resources I will be required to plan my study. The third thing is ethics and patient safety. Proposals also ensure that ethics review is done and the participation of the patient or a participant is properly done, or even if it is a retrospective study, the data is taken from electronic health record or registry, it is properly taken without any identifiers. If it is a prospective study, informed consent is taken and all the risks are mitigated, especially in the trials, clinical trials, where you give a drug to a patient or you give a vaccination. So it's basically developing a framework, a checklist, a guideline that how you are going to conduct a research. Or I give it as a name of roadmap and stakeholder communication. So basically, you develop a roadmap in terms of your proposal to guide the research implementation. And also, in a lot of researches, you need the stakeholders. For example, your colleague, your coworker is doing this study with you. Your patients needs to understand why they are being involved in the study. Your administration also needs to understand. So, if you have a proposal, if you have that document, it is easy to understand what is a problem, how to address it, what are the resources that you needed, how you will be taking care of the ethics, and how you are going to communicate your stakeholders that why this is needed. Coming to the next slide, we will be talking about a topic. So it is often very difficult. Researchers, especially the young individuals, find it very difficult to understand or to find out why or which topic or what is feasible for their research and what is helpful that they take it. Some people choose the topics that are relevant to their careers, others choose the topics which are in demand, and few people choose the topics that they even doesn't know it was given by someone else. It is very important to choose a relevant and feasible research topic, because a good research topic address the significant health issues or public health issues or epidemiological issues with implication of your care and the policy, or it is also helpful in assessing the feasibility, your time, funding, skills, so that you can understand that is this project achievable or not. Furthermore, is it is very useful to understand and avoid duplication. And how can you do that? Literature reviews is a very important and significant step. In depth, we will discuss about the literature review in our coming videos, where you will identifying gaps and justify the need of new research studies. So, literature is full of research and it has different topics. It has a lot of problems that have been already addressed, but there are emerging problems as well. There are problems within the existing problems as well. There is a scarcity of literature in some issues where no research have been done. So, choosing a relevant topic is very important, and how you are going to choose a topic and how you are going to talk about a topic. So there is a frame use which is called as the PCOT, which we also will be discussing in our future videos. So PCOT is stands for problem, population, I for intervention, C for your comparative group, if any, O for outcome, and then T is for the timeline or time. So this framework helps you to refine broader topics into clear and focused and answerable questions or topics that you think that are suitable for your research studies. Now, you selected a topic, you talk about the your problem, you go and search literature, you read the literature, you write a background of what exactly is the problem. And definitely in our upcoming videos we'll be talking about how to write an introduction of proposal and manuscript. But now, after the introduction writing, where you are just searching from the literature and putting there about the problem, identify the topic, and then now you are going to select appropriate methods and study design. So basically, there are a lot of researches done which are not published or have lack, or they have issues because the design was not appropriate for the study, or the overall methods were not appropriate related to the study, and that's why reviewer rejects your paper. So it should be as your first step when you are developing a research proposal, study designs, study population and sampling, variable identification, their definitions, and talking about bias, data collection and management, and all the necessary elements that comes under the method section should be answered, because method section is the section which you will be using to apply in your study. This is the way you are going to collect your data. This is the way you are going to do your research. Okay. So there are different types of studies, which again, I would say I am going to make a video on this study designs and study types. So basically the common designs, which include the cross-sectional, case control, cohort, randomized control trials, and each has their distinct advantages as well as disadvantages, which we will be discussing in depth. Also, nowadays, a lot of hospitals or a lot of university hospitals are using registries or electronic health records and doing retrospective studies, which are also being published and very helpful in generating the evidence to support the research in terms of different problems, either in the communicable, non-communicable, epidemiological studies, or injury research. So you can also use that data to conduct your study. Now, study population and sampling is very important. So here you have to define the study population, that whom you are going to include or and you are going to exclude. Also, what sample methods you are going to use, how you are going to include your sample, how you are going to include your participants, and how you are going to approach them. There are also variables that you are going to tackle and how these variables will impact your study. There are variables which are independent, there are variables which will be dependent, means outcome, and there will be some variables which are already confounders and literature has mentioned about them. How you are going to tackle this section will be very important for that. So doing research doesn't come alone, it comes with the bias. It has issues that you have to tackle anyways at the planning stage. So you have to make sure that you do randomization while selecting the sample, you do blinding if it is a randomized controlled trial. You also make sure that you take the standard procedures to minimize these study issues or biases. Now, this section is very important to be written in a proposal, that how you are going to plan to conduct the data collection and statistical analysis. Though the statistical analysis can be changed later when you have the data, but at least you should be having a generic idea of what data yours will be and what tests you are going to apply. So, data collection methods should be aligned with your study design and objectives. Sometimes we use the questionnaires or interviews or the exams in the clinics, or in the fields, or you have the large epidemiological data that you are going to use. So you have to make sure that how you are going to collect them, where you are going to store them, how you are going to ensure the quality. So if you are going to send the data collectors, what methods you will be teaching them, or what code book they are you going to use that. So on every aspect we are going to discuss in a detailed video in future, but here we are just getting an overview that what elements should be in a research proposal. So you will be also talking about data managing practices, where you will be noting down the effective data entry, storage, coding, and security to protect your data. You have to make sure to write these for the ethics approval, that your data will not be shared with anyone else other than the PI or yourself, or whoever is getting this data or have the access. Make sure it's within them. It should not be publicized. The important section here is the statistical analysis planning. So you have to plan at this stage that which test you are going to apply, what will be your data type, and how you are going to deal as a descriptive or inferential statistics. And there are appropriate software available where you will be putting your data to clean and do the statistical analysis, which we will be also discussing in depth in the future research videos. So, ethics is a very important part of the epidemiological or clinical research or any research. So, you have to make sure that you are taking informed consent, which is voluntary for participation. And in that, you have mentioned about risk and benefits if it is a prospective study. If it is a retrospective study, it is not required, but you have to take permission to waive off from the ethics committee. It depends on committee to committee, or different IRBs have different requirements. Make sure that you have fair participant selection where you are minimizing the bias. It's not like you are doing a study on hypertension and every hypertensive you are going to find and include there, or it should not create a bias. So you have to make sure that you informed about this. It should also talk about the confidentiality and data protection. Data is very important. So you have taken the permission from the patient, or you have taken the permission from the ethics committee that you will be getting this data. So make sure that it should be with you. It should not be shared. Otherwise, it will be causing issue. And of course, if you are taking this data, make sure that it is anonymized, it is encrypted, and it does not have access to anybody else other than the PI and team. Now, there are few tips at the end of this video, I'm going to give you. So, first is your proposal should have a logical proposal structure. Your proposal should start with a title. Your proposal should have a background about the problem, how you are going to find the background. So, it is a very important question how to do a literature review. So, a lot of databases are available. For example, PubMed, Scopus, Google Scholar, and other databases freely available, which you can go and use. And a lot of universities and hospitals have affiliation of the articles or the journals where you can go and search. So you can just go through the title of your study, copy paste that, or use the relevant keywords, which you can just pick it up. If you are using PubMed, then mesh words will be the right words that you are going to use to find out the articles, and then you prepare a background. So generally, a background or the problem statement or an introduction is around 600 to 700 words with an rationale where you are going to tell that why this study is required, what is a novelty, and you are talking more about the problem as an inverted triangle. When we will be discussing about the how to write an introduction, we will be talking about in depth. Then make sure to write the objectives and methods, and whatever literature you have taken from the databases is cited and the proper references are given. If you are just copy pasting, it might give the plagiarism, so make sure that you paraphrase your proposal background. The writing should be clear and concise. You must be precise about what you are talking. It's not the story that you are telling, it's the research that you are doing. So try to avoid jargons, make sure that your language is scientific and it is accessible to everybody and it is easily readable so that scientific community can review it and provide the feedback, or it is easily publishable. Make sure that whatever checklist you are using, or there are a lot of now proposal and manuscript development checklists available. I will tell you by the type of study design when we will be talking about that. So or even you can develop your own checklist. A lot of checklists are available freely online and you can use them. That after preparing your proposal, just tick mark that whatever you have included, whatever is needed, whatever is missing, so that you are compliant with the requirements. And make sure to proofread. Nowadays, a lot of people, students especially, use the AI. Of course, we have to be cautious with using AI. We have to be responsible using that. But if you are putting there, make sure that you just don't copy paste or don't take the content from there. Try to read yourself, try to work on that, and make sure that you proofread whatever you have written. This will help in understanding the faculty or reviewer or anybody where you are submitting the proposal, or even IRB, that what research you are conducting. So, the key takeaways from today, and this I am sure that will help you in developing your proposal. So, you should be writing a structured proposal. You should have each detail that we have discussed here with the paragraphs or with the bullets that you want to achieve. Some proposals need a long depth and understanding of the issue. Some proposals are limited. So there are different requirements from the different university and organization. If you're submitting somewhere for your school project or university project, make sure that you are following that guideline. Sometimes references are also different. So we will be talking about the references as well. Make sure that you are putting the right keywords, you are using the right terms while writing, and it should look like a scientific proposal. It should not look like something that is just copy pasted from the existing proposals or existing manuscripts. Your objective should be clear and focused. It should be not that much broad that you are unable to make the reviewer understand that what exactly you are going to do. And you should use the robust methods and data plans, and you are aware of what you are going to do. And at the end, I would say that make your proposal so effective, and it should compliant with the ethics so that it approves very quickly and you meet the timelines and easily do that. So at the end, I would just like to tell you, before writing a proposal or before picking a pencil or start writing on your computer, make sure that go through the literature about what problem you are going to look, what epidemiological study design you are going to choose, read papers that are relevant and published already, and see how these have been done, and then start writing and start sketching your proposal. Make sure that there is no right or wrong, but you are aware of what you are doing. So that's all from the today's video. I hope that we will be in touch for the other videos, and thank you very much.